DJ Envy's longtime business partner has been arrested by federal agents in New Jersey.
If it wasn't for DJ Envy, I would have never invested into Caesar.
No comment from DJ Envy. An inside source tells us that the iHeartRadio offices were visited by the feds, who took out electronic equipment as part of this investigation. After receiving 2 bounce checks, Rio says he got a visit from Caesar carrying this box of jewelry.
So many times people come up to us and say, how can I invest with you guys? How can I learn more? How can I get in on some of your deals? So you came up with this idea.
Yep.
Break it down.
So
I think it's genius. I thought it was dope.
Like you said at our seminars, people are always like, okay, what's the next step? How can...
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping engine.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping engine.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping engine.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping NJ.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flipping NJ.
What's up, guys? You're with J Smitty, J Smitty Conversations. Let's get it.
Looking for real estate scammers.
One thing I want to talk about, and I've been trying to avoid this topic, but like it's been really huge. This DJ Envy scandal, the Caesar Flippin' and J scandal. Do you guys think that DJ Envy is scamming individuals?
Oh, it's good. I'm back. I'm gonna finish the video here, guys. Leave the gym room, man. That shit was getting hot.
Dun, dun, dun. What does J Smitty Conversations think? I'm giving DJ Envy the benefit of the doubt. I'm not sure if he's guilty. I know that's not the popular opinion online, but just based off the facts and me being objective, I can't see the man scamming folks. That's just me.
So a lot of people think that Envy's guilty because he marketed the business and he stood next to the guy. That does not make you guilty. It doesn't make you guilty. Could he not know? He stood next to the guy. It's really easy not to know what's going on when it comes to the business. You're going to have to prove that he knowingly did things intentionally to prolong the Ponzi scheme. This is a perfect example of why I feel like Envy's going to walk away. Everybody remember the Fire Festival?
The actual experience exceeds all expectations, and is something that's hard to put into words. Always that type of power.
I had a bunch of laughs just watching them rich people stuck on an island, right?
Tonight, many are calling it festival fraud. Plans for a luxury music festival on a private island in the Bahamas have completely fallen apart. People paid thousands of dollars for tickets to Firefest, expecting a top-notch experience. They instead received anything but. Luxury accommodations turned out to be tents. Gourmet food consisted of bread, cheese, and salad. Many of the guests ended up stranded at the airport on top of everything else.
Who was the face of the Fire Festival? You guessed it, Ja Rule. Ja Rule was the face of the Fire Festival. He was part of the company. He was a partner. He was the right-hand man. He marketed the business. He was there. Who was the person that was held liable? Billy McFarland. Ja Rule did not know that McFarland, who ran the business, whose names was on the dealings and on the contracts, and he was the one that was dealing with the investors, he didn't know that Billy McFarland was doing all that. He was just the face, and he marketed the business. Ja Rule's complicit.
Come on, guys. There's a lot of smart people on this fucking phone call, man. Let's think of how to dig ourselves out of this shit, man. We didn't kill anybody. Nobody got hurt. We made a mistake. We'll get past it.
Like, no one would have knew who Billy McFarland was or about the Fire Festival if it wasn't for Ja Rule. But because Ja Rule didn't know about the dealings, he was not liable for anything. And one dude went to jail, from my knowledge, Billy McFarland. Billy McFarland was held liable for the Fire Festival, which Ja Rule promoted all the time, every day on his Instagram, and was the face and was the reason why people knew about the festival. So just think about that. You can market a business. You can shout a business out to your lungs turn. You can even own a percent of the company.
As you can see, Ja Rule is an owner and still not held liable.
Like, hey, I'm just the face. I own 10%. Another argument that I keep hearing is that because he's an owner, how could he not know? So J. Cole owns about, what, 10% or 5% of the Charlotte Hornets. That being said, do you think J. Cole is running the company? Do you think I'm sure he probably has access to the books and things like that, but do you think he's part of the inner workings of the Charlotte Hornets? No, he's just a face, and he purchased a percentage to have ownership. That's it. Just because you have ownership of something, that doesn't mean that you run the company, especially if you own a minority stake. So for me, I do think that people online, these online lawyers, I think they are making compelling arguments that DJ Envy should possibly be liable in civil court. But as far as criminal being charged, he's not going to jail. Like every argument you guys have, all you guys are saying is that he's standing next to the guy and that how could he not know? How could he not know? But it's no smoking gun saying that, yo, this man knew about the Ponzi scheme and he promoted it. Also, for me, the benefit of the doubt, DJ Envy's signature or name is not on any other contracts. DJ Envy was rich before the Breakfast Club. He really does not need to scam. He's good. He's not just the DJ in your local town. You can argue he was the most successful person when the Breakfast Club first started, and then Charlamagne kind of rose up and took over that. So I do want to say this disclaimer: if DJ Envy is found guilty, then he deserves it. And I want to talk about the lessons that I feel like is important to kind of process. Also, what I find kind of funny, when the rumors came out, and again, Tony the Closer, this guy again, I feel like he deserves some criticism. He's kind of shaky himself. Broke the news about DJ's Envy and I guess iHeart and the Breakfast Club being raided. It came out not true. They were never raided. Law enforcement, iHeartRadio, and DJ's Envy's lawyer all came out and said that a raid never happened and that they took nothing out of the radio station. Now, if you look on YouTube right now, it's 1,000 videos saying, oh man, iHeart got raided, I only saw one video. I seen one video saying, yo, I have to be fair and be honest. I know we don't like DJ Envy, but I got to keep it a buck. That didn't happen. To me, that tells me that people just don't like Envy.
Founder Ja Rule in the hot seat. Twitter users not mincing words. Fraud, liar, manipulator, demanding to know what Ja Rule knew and when.
They did the exact same thing to Envy. Or am I crazy? And I think DJ Envy's walking away. I think people are emotional. I think people just don't like DJ Envy. But if you're being objective, it's going to be hard to prove that he was complicit in a scheme. I don't think Envy's going to be held liable legally. I also think he's going to also cooperate.
Look at it. Kareem Akbar. That's right, the educated brother in the bank. Head of the CMB. This thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
With Tony the Closer, I think Tony the Closer, I think he's kind of nervous. He doesn't want to be sued. And I think he is getting some clout. I think people think because he's helping individuals, he's not clout chasing. You can clout chase and want to help people out. The guy posts literally about DJ Envy every 2 seconds. Kind of seems like a scorned woman. And behind each post of DJ Envy, he's selling these t-shirts or he's selling these real estate courses. So that's clout chasing. Yes, he's exposing or trying to expose somebody, but he's also trying to profit and line up his pocket. DJ Envy countersued Tony the Closer. So Tony the Closer, in my opinion, he has an incentive to get DJ Envy locked up. DJ Envy has a history of winning lawsuits. So it benefits Tony the Closer to try to get DJ Envy complicit with this Ponzi scheme. DJ Envy is also claiming that he is a victim too.
Fallout from that infamous Fire Festival. Co-founder Ja Rule defending himself on social media and now saying he was also a victim of the scam as dueling documentaries put the failed event back in the spotlight.
Is DJ Envy taking plays out of Ja Rule's defense book? Closer tried to expose DJ Envy by basically playing the hidden recording. He also exposed that DJ Envy behind closed doors said, yo, I lost money too.
Now Caesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But I do understand how people feel if they did give him money, because I gave him a lot of money.
Jesus.
That I didn't see a dollar of return.
So for me, DJ Envy has a good defense. If you can't find, bank records or anything like that to show that, he was complicit in furthering on a Ponzi, that's the thing you have to prove without a benefit. It's not like civil's a little loose. Civil, you don't have to have a concrete evidence. But when you're prosecuting somebody for jail, you have to have concrete evidence that DJ Envy knew that he was complicit in furthering a crime in a Ponzi scheme to scam people. I don't care how many times he says, DJ Envy, flipping in J.
DJ Envy, flipping in J.
He could promote to his lungs turn blue. You have to show that he was complicit and knowingly scammed individuals. There's no evidence, none. You guys don't like DJ Envy, and I don't got no horse in the race. If he's guilty, trust me, I'll be lock his ass up. But I'm being objective. I want to talk about a couple things. DJ Envy, you are still liable. You're liable ethically. You have to be mindful about who you stand next to. You are who your friends are. And so, with my videos, I try my best to not only talk about stuff, but I also want to just bring a message. We all make the choices and decisions of who we have around us, who we hang with, who we decide to do business with. Unfortunately, even if you feel like you're innocent, you put yourself in that position by being complicit and hanging with a person that you shouldn't have been hanging around with. With the guy, Cesar Pina, I think he's a jerk. I think he's a scumbag. I think he needs to be locked up, and I hope they don't take it easy on him because he has a history of money laundering and scamming it before in the past. I'm really big on second chances. I don't like judging people based off their crimes and things like that. I know a lot of solid people who have done crimes, who've turned their life around, is doing great in the community. I struggled, and I did some things when I was younger and had to find myself. So I know I wanted a second chance, and I make the most of my second chance all the time. I didn't do I could have went down a dark path, but luckily God and I had strong people in my life to pull me around. That being said, if Cesar Pina has shown a pattern of certain behaviors, then it shows you that maybe it's just within him, or something within the way he's wired where he scams individuals. And Envy, you should have kind of made sure you do your due diligence, because unfortunately you are accountable for this, and your reputation will never be the same because you stood next to the wrong person. So if you're trying to live a new direction in your life and you're trying to be positive, you're no longer trying to do the BS in life, or let's say you're just growing and people aren't following you, you got to do your best to set boundaries, or unfortunately you got to remove. Separation sometimes creates elevation. So DJ Envy stated that, he sometimes gravitates towards individuals who aren't doing the right thing.
I was raised very, very well. Parents always supported me. I got everything that I want. They pushed me to be better. But I always wanted to be liked as a kid, And growing up in Queens, you've seen a lot of street life, street activity, drug dealers. You would see people drive up and down with nice cars. You would see jewelry. I wanted that stuff. So I remember going to college, and college was great. I went to Hampton University. Gail went to Old Dominion, and I just remember hooking up with a bunch of people that were doing things that I didn't need to do, but I did it because I wanted to fit in. And one of those things were I knew somebody that had a friend that worked at Costco. All types of just shit. I put in there, and then I would just walk right out. He would look at the receipt, and I'd walk out. And I did this about 3-4 times. Of course, like everything else, dude got caught. Now, the way he got caught was Sam's Club was missing, because it wasn't just me doing it. His friends, other people were doing it. It was a bunch of people doing it.
It's a whole conspiracy.
But I did it not because necessarily I needed the money, but the people that I did it with was my peoples. So I just did it to be down, which is whack.
So he does have a pattern. He has a pattern of being around individuals he doesn't have to be around if he doesn't have to. I think sometimes people struggle with identity crisis. So that's the next thing I want to talk about. Identify yourself as an individual. Once you figure out who you are as an individual and you identify what you stand for, you'll never fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So you gotta love yourself. You gotta be content with yourself. And once you have your own identity, you're able to kind of form the people you want in your life. And you're not swayed by people's opinions or judgment. Because I may have to make a decision that's best for me and my family, and that may not be the most popular decision. That being said, because I know myself, because I'm in tune with my higher power, and because I'm in tune with myself, I'm not tripping over that because I know who I am. So self-esteem, you got to love yourself. You got to know who you are as a person. You have to appreciate who you are as a person. You got to accept the ugly, and you got to accept the bad. The next thing, all money is not good money, guys. So I do believe DJ Envy had good intention. They say the road to hell is paved by good intention. Everything in your life should align with who you are as a person. Because I'm a God-fearing guy, because I try to do my best in life, because I want good energy, so I try to put it out. I try not to do jobs, or I try not to make money where I can just hurt people or scam people or just make myself feel uncomfortable. Because when you do things like that, it does create turmoil inside of yourself. So the other thing I want to talk about, And again, I don't want to be victim blaming, so I'm not victim blaming. But what I've seen is that a lot of the people who gave Cesar Pina money, they did not have lawyers. They didn't do their due diligence. There were some that did, so not all of them. Some that they had their contract iron claused and were still scammed. But it was a lot of individuals that went in there and they were cool with giving Cesar money and him not counting it. They were cool with Cesar asking for cash. They were cool with talking to him without a lawyer. There's no shortcuts in life. There's no get-rich schemes. Instant gratification. Everything's a process. Things that are worth anything in life usually take time, usually go through a process, you usually have some hiccups, you're going to have some failures, you're going to have some highlights. But when it's all said and done, when you reach the end of the rainbow and when you reach success, it's worth it. And you never get blessed for doing stuff like that.